After the Whistle begins in Altoona, where this happened. Late in the first half, Finn Fermanac rolls out and launches it deep, connects with Michael Gall for the Hail Mary. Would it lead to a State College victory? I'm Sharanda Hammond. We'll have more on that game and others around the district.
And I'm Joe Callahan Jr., plus a preview of Penn State's road matchup against the Auburn Tigers. After the Whistle starts now. First up, let's take a look at the highlights of our game of the week between Altoona and State College. It was a battle of two undefeated teams in Altoona as State High faced off against Altoona in the Mid-Penn Commonwealth. State High scored first, and quarterback Owen Yeti Yurka matched it with a 17-yard tutty. State College would score again, going up 21-zip. Middle of the second, Altoona's Brendan Frywald finds Jameer Harley Hardison for a 57-yard completion down the right sideline. They'd score on the very next play with a fullback dive to Alexander Yost. With momentum on Altoona's side, State College's lucky Finn Fermanac throws a prayer rolling out to the left to Michael Gall for his first career touchdown. As you see it here, Randy Moss's 4 men in the end zone. Let's take another look at that snag. Just a straight annihilation. State College would go on to beat Altoona 55-14. State High would keep their foot in the gas and just keep rolling down and remain undefeated. Tim Rogers now joins me on After the Whistle. Tim, what stood out to you with these two undefeated teams?
I mean, look, Joe, you all saw the highlight. Michael Gall caught an absolute beautiful Hail Mary at the end of the second quarter from Finn Fermanac, and that was the nail in the coffin against Altoona.
I mean, really, it's just the end of the half. I'm kind of gassed, I'm not going to lie, but I mean, last shot I gave it everything. I'm running the back of the end zone. I'm looking at Fermanac. I thought he was going to run it, but then those big uglies up there, man, they held together. They held together for a long time. They gave me enough time to get down there in the back of the end zone.
I mean, really, I saw there was 3 seconds on the clock. I go to the sideline. I told the coach, I was like, maybe we should run this. He's like, all right, go ahead, take it. I just took off with it, rolled to the left. I wanted to hit Dante, actually, but I saw Michael open, so I just launched it. I didn't think it was a great throw, but Michael made me look really good.
Coming into this matchup, State College really wanted to focus in on stopping the run game of the Mountain Lions. And they did, after only giving up 1 touchdown in the first half.
Mark Bainey, our defensive coordinator, put a great plan together with his staff, and our kids worked each day this week to really prepare for that. So we have a lot of familiarity with that offense. The coach prior to me ran a version of the triple option as well. So Mark had coached under him. I had coached at Bucknell when we were running triple option as well. So I feel like we were able to give the kids a pretty realistic look throughout the week at practice, and helps to prepare for tonight.
State College looked to keep up their winning ways and improve to 5-0 in the season, facing Central Dauphin September 23rd with kickoff set at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Reporting for After the Whistle, I'm Tim Rogers.
State College continues its excellent season, moving to 4-0 while Altoona drops its first game of the year.
Undefeated Penns Valley hosts 1-2 Bald Eagle tonight. Penns Valley is running out at home to take on the Bald Eagle Eagles. It's neon night at Penns Valley tonight. 6:33 left in the first quarter from opponent 6-yard. Bald Eagles' Carson Nagel finds Trey Green for a 6-yard touchdown. 7-0 Eagles. Halfway through the first, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Penns Valley, Jackson Romick to Miles Brooks gets a big gain from the 38-40. Would result in a Penns Valley first touchdown, 7-7. Second and goal, Cameron Dubbs fights forward for an 8-yard touchdown, 14-7 Bald Eagle, just halfway through the second quarter. Bald Eagle driving right before the half. Carson Nagel hits Gavin Ecke in the end zone. Down the sideline to the pads, the lead 27 Eagles. Heading into the Bald Eagle defeats Penns Valley 42-27, goes 2-2 on the year. The Rams fall for the first time this season. Bald Eagle will face Montoursville away in their next game, while Penns Valley will be at Clearfield.
Phillipsburg Osceola took host to Clearfield this week, and things did not get better for PO. Clearfield got out to a rocket start, streaking a Will D'Amico 51-yard strike to Jacob Samsel. In the spirit of last week's NFL, they missed the PAT. God gave them a second chance after another long play, this time on the ground with junior back Brady Collins streaking down the left sideline once again, fading defenders. And as every good running back does, he will show love in the celebration to his big man. Get up there with that rocket celebration. That two-point conversion attempt was a rollout to the right to Joe Break Your Kneecap's knee. Clearfield up 14-0. P.O. wasn't able to get anything out of the first. X-Factor Carter Freeland breaks a 69-yard touchdown, putting Clearfield up 28. This is all in the first quarter, bear mind you. Clearfield stumped for a 55-0 win. P.O. falls to 1-3 on the season. As for Clearfield, this marked a big win for head coach Tim Jenico, as it's now tied for the 18th all-time in high school wins in the state of Pennsylvania with 302. His team moves to 3-1. Mifflin County improved to 3-1 after defeating Lower Dauphin 28-7 on Thursday night in Hershey. Southern Huntington defeated Kerwinsville 47-20.
Juniata defeated Newport 36-0, and Northern Bedford rolled Moshannon Valley 55-7.
Penn Cambria picked up a big win against Bishop Guilfoyle 39-34. Northern Garrett took down Mount Union 50-21.
Richland held off West Mount Hilltop for the 21-14 win, and finally West Shamokin held off Homer Center 56-50. It was a blackout crowd in Tyrone, and the teams had a lot of fun with it. Middle of the first quarter, Trevor Johnson rolls right. Josh Patterson comes down with the interception, and the score stays 0-0 for the remainder of the first quarter. After a muffed punt from Tyrone, Trevor Johnson throws a touchdown pass to Dominic Caparella. The Bellefonte Red Raiders would strike first, taking the lead 7-0. Tyrone has the ball just outside the red zone. Quarterback Ashton Walk prances 22 yards into the end zone. Game is now tied 7-7 in the middle of the second. Towards the end of the first half, Tyrone enters the red zone after a fumble recovery. Andrew Weaver takes the short pass 12 yards up the middle. Tyrone leads at the half. It was Tyrone the rest of the game, winning 37-7. Tyrone moves to 4-0, and Bellefonte becomes 0-4.
Bellwood plays Everett Warriors in their fourth game of the 2022 season at the Blue Devils Memorial Stadium. Blue Devil mimics camera as the Bellwood team runs onto the field for the third quarter. Dalton Poorman, interception, 2nd and 21 for Everett, and 6:32 on the clock. As you see it right here, he rolls out to the right trying to find somebody, but he's picked off, and it sets up Bellwood for a really great third red zone opportunity. The Blue Devils 1st and goal from the 5. Jason Plubel barrels 5 yards into the end zone. Bellwood expands their lead, making it 33-6. The first play of the next drive, Nick Cost runs a marathon 47 yards. The rushing game continues to excel for the Devils 40-6. You're seeing it now starting the fourth quarter. A new rusher finds the end zone for Bellwood Antis. Griffin Kyle scores. Blue Devils dominate the night and win 53-6.
Hollidaysburg Golden Tigers travel back to their Tiger Stadium looking for their first win of the season against the Butler Golden Tornadoes. Special moment at the pregame as the Hollidaysburg Little League team was honored with a standing ovation and made honorary captains tonight. Opening drive for Hollidaysburg, very first play, QB Tucker Rossman picked off by Butler's Mac Schnurr. Look at him running. Butler inside Golden Tiger territory, but the drive would stall out. Late first quarter on 1st and 10, Landon Lacey lays down the hammer on Brady Steiner, dropping the pass that would lead to a punt, and a few plays later, switching over to the second quarter. Schnurr, surveying the field, rolls right and finds Aiden Davis for the 21-yard touchdown pass. Golden Tornadoes score first, up 7-0. And the Butler did it as they beat Hollidaysburg 40-20. Butler improves to 3-1 on the year as the Golden Tigers drop to 0-4. Coming up next on After the Whistle, Penn State heads down south to take on a powerhouse.
But first, here are some scores from around the state. We'll see you back here in a bit.
Welcome back to After the Whistle, brought to you by Calm Radio, Center County Report, and Penn State's chapter of Awesome.
Penn State football heads to East Alabama to take on the Auburn Tigers. Our Daryl Ostrander takes you to Aluba Hall.
Penn State will travel south to Auburn, Alabama tomorrow to face their third SEC opponent in the last 14 games. Coach James Franklin thinks the Nittany Lions are prepared for the new environment. Coming off a dominant 46-10 win over the Ohio Bobcats that saw many new freshman faces get experience, the Lions will look to carry their momentum into Auburn.
This game, and you look at their running backs and you look at their style of play, we're going to have to play well up front. There's no doubt about that.
In last year's matchup at Beaver Stadium, Penn State beat Auburn 28-20 in the whiteout game. Safety and team captain Jair Brown says the defense is close to getting takeaways, but is focused on the battle up front.
It's a game where you're going to have to tackle, and if you love tackling, this is your kind of game. And I think all our safeties in our room love tackling, and we pride ourselves on tackling.
While Franklin has been preparing the Penn State offense for the environment they're going into, he also wants to see more from his defense.
But yeah, we want more production. We want more tackles for loss. We want more sacks. We want more interceptions. All those disruptive type plays that are drive killers and momentum changers.
Thanks, Dale. The game starts tomorrow at 3:30, and you can listen to the game live on Penn State's Calm Radio.
One lucky Penn State student got the chance to attempt the kick of a lifetime for $1,000 in scholarship money.
No, never kicked a field goal in my life. That was the first time I ever kicked a field goal.
That first field goal attempt came in front of 107,000 fans at Beaver Stadium as junior communications major Aiden Torok nailed a 25-yard field goal and did the Trace McSorley celebration in style.
Oh, it was electric. I did plan my celebration. I did tell my roommates, my friends before I got the kick, I said, if I make it, I have to do the Trace McSorley celebration. So, once I kicked it, if you see, I run past the knee line, and I'm like, I need to do my celebration. So I did the Trace McSorley. But yeah, it was just pure adrenaline. It was so cool. Walking out of the stadium after the game, it was like on cloud nine.
Already running late to the game, Torok and his roommates were approached by All-State representatives asking if his roommate wanted to take the kick. After his roommate said no, Torok took the opportunity and ran with it.
Well, Sharanda, I think the moral of the story is if a stranger comes to you outside a football stadium and tells you to kick a field goal, you better be able to put it through the uprights. A lot of NFL kickers last week would have lost a lot of money.
Yeah, I can name a lot of NFL teams on both hands that could use Aiden as their kicker.
Either way, that's going to do it for Week 4 of After the Whistle. Thank you to all that make this show possible. I'm Joe Callahan, Jr.
And I'm Sharanda Hammond. Join us next time. We'll be back with more District 6 playoff action right here on
After the Whistle.